In the dawn of a forgotten age, when the dust of empires covered the hopes of a people and the voice of truth seemed silenced by the echoes of oppression, a call erupted. It was not the clamor of armies, nor the whisper of distant prophecies, but something deeper, more urgent. It was the sound of an ancient promise about to unfold under the watchful eye of heaven. Humanity, in its incessant search for meaning, dragged itself through the paths of existence, its hearts heavy with the burden of an unattainable justice, its eyes fixed on a horizon that promised only another day of struggle. Who could break the cycle? Who would dare to challenge the shadows that stretched over the human soul? The answer did not come from palaces, nor from adorned temples, but from an improbable place, from a simple man whose gaze carried the depth of centuries and the authority of the Creator himself. He ascended a mountain, a natural stage for divine revelation, and there, before a multitude thirsty for something that transcended the mundane, he sat down. The air grew thick, charged with an almost palpable expectation. The world, unknowingly, was about to receive the constitution of a kingdom not of this world, a kingdom of unshakable justice. The Messiah was about to speak, and when he opened his mouth, the entire universe leaned in to listen.
And so, the voice that calmed storms and raised the dead, the voice that uttered the very word of God, began to echo across the slopes of that mountain. These were not mere words, but seeds of a new kingdom, planted in the hearts of those who dared to draw near. Each phrase a revelation, each teaching an invitation to radical transformation. He did not speak like the scribes, nor like the Pharisees, but with an authority that transcended the human, that penetrated the soul and laid bare the deepest intentions. It was the constitution of the kingdom of heaven, delivered not on tablets of stone, but in the hearts of those who hungered and thirsted for a righteousness that the world could never offer. Pay close attention, for what follows is not just history, but the very essence of the life he came to give us. Listen, and let the truth resonate in your spirit. Matthew 5. And seeing the multitudes, Jesus went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost his savour, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out, and to be trodden under foot of men. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works, and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Think not that I have come to destroy the law or the prophets. I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raca, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, Thou fool, shall be in danger of hell fire. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Verily I say unto you, thou shalt by no means come thence, till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, Thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out, and cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off, and cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. It hath been said, Whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery, and whosoever shall marry her that is divorced, committeth adultery. Again ye have heard that it hath been said by them of old time, Thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto the Lord thine oaths. But I say unto you, Swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, nor by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great King. Neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black. But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay, for whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. Ye have heard that it hath been said, An eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. And if any man will sue thee at the law, and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also. And whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him twain. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow thee, turn thou not away. Ye have heard that it hath been said by them of old time, Thou shalt love thy neighbor, and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, Love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. For if ye love them that love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans do the same? And if ye salute your brethren only, what more do ye than others? Do not even the publicans so? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
The silence that followed those words was not empty, but filled with the weight of truth.
We heard the call to perfection, to a righteousness that exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, to a love that embraces even enemies. But do we truly comprehend them? Can our soul, so accustomed to the world's standards, even conceive the magnitude of this divine demand? The law, which once seemed a burden of external rules, now reveals itself as an unforgiving mirror, reflecting the depths of our soul. Who in good conscience can claim to meet such a standard? Our righteousness, our efforts, our attempts to please God by our own merit, are they sufficient? Or are they merely filthy rags before the holiness He demands? What is to be done when truth confronts every fiber of our being, revealing the abyssal distance between what we are and what we ought to be? How can we reconcile our flawed nature with the perfection the King demands? This is the crossroads of the soul, the dilemma that echoes through the centuries, inviting us to a profound reflection. Are we willing to face our own insufficiency before the glory of God? Doubt corrodes. The suffering of the soul is real, an echo of our own insufficiency before divine majesty. We look at the King's demands and find ourselves small, flawed, incapable. How can we achieve the perfection the Father calls us to if at every step we stumble in our own weaknesses, in our selfish desires, in our righteousness that is but a thin veil over darkness? Are we condemned to fail, to live under the weight of a law that exposes us but does not empower us? Anguish sets in. Hopelessness threatens to extinguish the last ember of faith. But amidst the darkness of our incapacity, a light emerges. Not a light that blinds us with unattainable glory, but one that reveals the way, that points to the only hope. The solution is not in our merits, in our strength, in our vain attempt to elevate ourselves. It resides in grace, which manifests in a perfect, eternal, and sufficient sacrifice. He did not come to abolish the law, to diminish the divine standard, but to fulfill it in our place, to live the perfect life we could never live. And more than that, to empower us to live it, not by our own effort, but by the power of the Spirit He grants us. There, on Calvary, the justice of the kingdom was satisfied. There, the unconditional love of the Father poured out overwhelmingly. There, the door to true holiness was opened, not by our works, but by the finished work of the Messiah. His shed blood, His surrendered life, His glorious resurrection, all this so that we could be reconciled with the Father, so that the perfection that was unattainable to us might become ours through Him. What an impactful truth! And so, the resolution is not an end in itself, but the glorious beginning of a new journey. The justice of the kingdom, which once seemed an insurmountable abyss, now reveals itself as a bridge built by the Messiah's love. It is not an unattainable ideal reserved for a select few, but a reality accessible to all who, with humility and faith, surrender to the King of Kings. He who first loved us now calls us to a life of purpose, of radical holiness, of love that transcends human barriers. This is not an invitation to an easy existence, devoid of challenges, but to a full life, where every step is guided by His will, and every action reflects His glory. It is a call to be the salt of the earth, preserving the world from corruption, and the light of the world, dispelling darkness with truth. Not for our own glory, but so that the Father in heaven may be glorified in all things. Are you willing to abandon your own righteousness and embrace the righteousness that comes from Him? Are you ready to live a life that exceeds the world's standard, reflecting the character of your Creator in every detail of your being? The choice is yours, and the consequences eternal. Beloved, the Sermon on the Mount is not a list of suggestions for a more comfortable life, but the non-negotiable constitution of the kingdom of heaven. It calls us to a life of holiness that goes far beyond mere outward appearance, penetrating the most secret intentions of the heart. It is not about superficial motivation or fleeting well-being, but about a profound transformation wrought by the Holy Spirit, conforming us to the image of the Messiah. Your salvation is not a ticket to spiritual indolence, to a life of conformity with the world, but an urgent call to the honor of the Messiah, so that he may be exalted in every aspect of your existence. How have you reflected his light in a world increasingly immersed in darkness? Does your salt have flavor, or has it become tasteless, useless for the kingdom, trampled underfoot by men? The values of the kingdom are radically countercultural: to love your enemy, to seek reconciliation before your offering, to be pure in heart, not to covet, not to swear in vain. This is not for your material well-being, for earthly prosperity, but for your spiritual prudence, so that you do not stray from the narrow path of biblical truth, so that your faith may not be in vain. Make no mistake, the focus is never on you. The focus is always on the Creator. The focus is to please the Messiah who gave himself out of love. The focus is to follow the Bible in every detail, in every commandment, in every exhortation. It is to learn the profound lessons he left us, not to feel better about ourselves, but so that he may be glorified. Always exalt the Creator, for from him, through him, and to him are all things. Keep salvation and the Messiah at the center of attention, for the spiritual world is our true and eternal reality. May your life be a living testimony to the righteousness of the kingdom, a beacon of hope amidst the darkness. May every step you take be guided by the Word, and may your heart long to see the King face to face. Before the magnitude of this call, may your heart not be troubled, but prostrate itself in reverence. The journey of holiness is not a burden imposed by a distant judge, but the invitation of a loving Father who desires to see his image restored in his children. Remember, true perfection is not a destination achieved by self-effort, but a daily surrender to the sovereignty of the King of Kings, who first loved us and rescued us from darkness into his marvelous light. May your life transcend time and space, becoming an echo of eternity here on earth. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. Matthew 5:48. This is not a suggestion, but a command. This is the unshakable truth. This is our supreme purpose. This is the eternal glory of the Messiah, to whom belongs all praise, now and forevermore. Amen.